Forex is an absolute scam. I think you're a scammer. Prove me wrong.
I don't think it's meant for everybody. Not everybody's meant to be successful. You got to be a dog. You have to have that fight in you.
Such an easy dream to sell people, right?
Yeah.
You can get on your laptop, you can trade, and you can have a lifestyle like this.
I think it's a little bit delusional, in my opinion. Trading doesn't provide any value to society. And I think if you want to make money, you should be providing value to society.
I was a degenerate when I was younger. I used to smoke. I used to skip school. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts 6 years ago. I decided to change. I became the person that I am now.
Why are you doing the challenge? You're already rich.
I mean, it's definitely not to make money, but it's more of to show people that you don't need a lot of money to make money in trading. My whole entire purpose right now is turning $100 into $1 million. That is it. I'm not going to stop until I don't achieve it.
Hi, pleasure to meet you, my man. How are you? Pleasure. We checked out that spot last night. It was fire, that food.
Oh, you guys liked it? Sick.
Unreal, man.
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing?
Pleasure meeting you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, you guys got remotes too. Sick.
Yeah.
Yo, boys, so we're in Miami at the moment. Alex Gonzalez hit us up. He said, why not go in a private jet to the Dominican Republic and shoot a podcast on the way? That's exactly what we're going to do. Thanks for inviting us on this private jet, Alex.
Thank you.
So you're doing an interesting challenge at the moment, right? Where you're turning $100 into $1 million.
Yeah.
Why are you doing the challenge? You're already rich.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely not to make money, but it's more of to show people that you don't need a lot of money to make money in trading. The narrative is you just need the skill set, and once you have the skill set, you can make endless amount of money. So I've been trying this for a year already. I'm on my 4th or 5th attempt. The first time I took the $100, so about 300K, and then I blew it all in 2 weeks. And then I took 100 to like 4,000, blew it, 100 to 5,000, blew it. Now I'm on my 5th try or 4th. And right now I'm at $100 to 90,000. It's just to show people that once you learn a skill set, the limit is endless. All you need to learn is what you have to do to acquire that skill set, master it, and then the money comes after. Don't focus on the money first, and then you're going to focus on the skills.
So you're clearly an expert trader with the amount of money that you've made. So why are you finding it so difficult to accomplish the challenge?
So basically it's because to become an expert trader, you have to risk a 1 to 5% of your account, right? That's like the sustainable amount. My win rate is probably 60%. So out of 10 trades that I take, I win 6, I lose 4. If I'm risking 5%, I'm making, let's say, 30% with a 1 to 3 risk to reward a month. But on these challenges, the problem is that I'm not risking 5%. Like it'll literally be impossible to turn $100 into $1 million by risking 5%. Practically impossible. I would have to take 10 years with compound interest is basically. So I risk 100% every single time that I enter a position. So all I need is just one loss and it sets me back for a month. Literally how I just did this week. I took the $100 to 90,000, and then this exact week I risked 50% of the account instead of 100, and I lost 50% of the account. So that sets me back a whole month up to the point of me getting it to where right now. So it's very hard to do it because you're risking 100%. And to become a successful trader and an expert trader, it's not about how good are you, it's how well you manage the money. And turning $100 into $1 million, managing the money is just, doesn't exist. Like it's not in the whole proportion of it.
So how confident are you this time that you're going to achieve it?
I'm going to do it.
100%?
I'm 100%. I'm not going to stop until I don't achieve it.
What's different this time though? What are the things that you're going to change, and why did it go wrong those last 5 times?
So basically, I thought I was ready for it. I thought that I was ready to risk 100% of the account, because I've never done it in the past. I became successful because I got access to 6 figures, and then I was risking 5%, and with compound interest, I would make 100% of the 6 figures over the course of 8 months. But risking 100% of the account is something I've never done. And just because I've made millions in the markets, I thought I was ready for that emotional swing, and I wasn't. I really wasn't at all. And now I'm at the point where I don't need the money at all anymore. And if I lose, my whole entire community supports me, and they're taking the trades with me, and they're all like, dude, if the sink ships, we sink with you. I'm like, all right, so here we go. So I'm emotionally ready to lose. I don't care if I lose. I'm ready to get back in and start all over again.
So if you do lose and you're 100% confident, what's the forfeit? Other than letting everyone down and letting yourself down, do you have something in place? And if not,
Could we put something in place where it's like something on the line here to just up the odds a little bit?
Give me something on the line. Give me something on the line.
What do you think, boys?
Yeah, because
I think come back to it.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. Yeah, watchtime strategy.
We'll come back.
Yeah, because I don't plan to stop anytime soon. Like my whole entire purpose right now is turning $100 into $1 million. That is it. I'm not going to stop until I don't achieve this shit. Because if I can do it, somebody else can. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts 6 years ago. All you have to do is learn the skill set and just be ready to risk 100% and catch the best trades as possible.
So do you think beginners should take this approach that you're taking in the challenge, or how should they do it a little bit differently?
No, so that's a little bit of a problem that I've ran into. As I'm doing this challenge, I've gotten a lot of awareness on who I am and what I do. And obviously everybody wants to turn $100 into $1 million. Like who wouldn't want to logically do that? Everybody's like, oh, I'll give you $100. Well, like that's not how it works. So it's the narrative is correct. You could turn $100 into $1 million. The opportunity is there, but it's not the correct thing to do for a beginner. I didn't start off turning $100 to 10,000. Like I did not become successful that way. Yes, the opportunity is there and it's possible, but that doesn't mean that you should go ahead and take that as your trading journey to begin and learn the skill set that way. You learn the skill set by risking 1% to 2%, taking losses, learning from those losses, and then coming back and then fixing it. If every single time you go into the market, you're losing 100% of your account, you're not going to want to keep on trading. You're going to get this, you're going to feel like you're in the battle with the market, and you're never in a battle with the market. You're supposed to be in sync with the market, that you're trading with the trend, buying when it's bullish, selling when it's bearish. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. It's going to happen, but you only risk 1 or 2%. I guarantee you right now, if you have $100 in an account and you risk 2%, you're not going to give a shit, right? You don't really care. But if it's your first time and every single time you deposit $100, you're losing, you're going to kind of hate trading. So I don't recommend beginners to do this at all when they get started.
And how long does it take for someone to become a complete beginner? How long does it take them to then become what you'd say expert level?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy because when I started 6 years ago, there wasn't this much information on social media. There wasn't many people on YouTube. There wasn't educational courses. There wasn't many other successful people that have done stuff for you to copy it. So it took me about 2.5 years, but now I'm seeing the learning curve shorten up to 6 months. It just depends on how much time people have to dedicate to the craft. I've seen people that they dedicate 10 hours every single day because they're in high school or college and they succeed more than somebody that's working a 9 to 5 and they could only put 2 hours into the market. It just depends how much time do you have to dedicate to it, because trading at the end of the day is just figuring out how to read the chart. The only way you're going to learn how to read the chart is by seeing it. The more you see it, the more you're going to be able to read it. And I've seen that learn curve go all the way to 6 months, depending on how much time the people put into it. If you put in 8 to 10 hours a day, you could become somewhat successful within 6 months where you can start seeing some type of money. But expert trader, I would say you would need to have a minimum of a year, because you have to go through a whole entire cycle of the markets. So the market moves in a cycle. It has, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. The markets have summer. The market has volatility, like for example right now elections that are coming up. So you become an expert trader when you experience all types of these different types of market conditions.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of people out there that are willing to put these 6 months to 2 years into learning to trade, and I imagine lots of our viewers would do it as well. But not a lot of people are successful. Not a lot of people are flying on private jets like yourself. Yeah. So what makes you different from all those people that have failed? What are the qualities that you have?
So I don't take no for an excuse. So whenever anybody would say, "Oh, that's not possible," I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit. I think that it's possible. And I've done the math in terms of like, dude, if you just double up a week for 12 weeks, dude, you're at $1 million. Like, that's just how it works, right? If you just simply do the math. I'd say like what really makes me different is that I don't care to put everything on the risk right now, lose everything, because I know I'll get it back. A lot of people out there are scared of losing the money. They're scared of losing the lifestyle they have right now. And I'm a firm believer that the lifestyle that I got right now is because of the risk that I've been able to take and the way I've been able to learn and manage those risks and those swings that have gone up and down, and have made me the person that I am today. Not a lot of people are ready to do that kind of stuff. Not a lot of people are ready to put everything on the line just to say, yo, I did it. Like, I'm technically putting my reputation on line right now, publicly showing this for a whole entire year. Like, if let's say I was trading under a bank. The bank's gonna look at me and be like, bro, this guy's trash. Like, he's been trying to make this happen for a whole year. He hasn't been able to do it. So I'm putting my reputation out there at risk because I know when I achieve it, it's just nobody's gonna be able to say anything,
Where did that mindset of like get it by any means necessary come from? Because to my understanding, you worked at Dunkin Donuts, but before that, you wasn't homeless, you lived with your parents, life was stable. And in my experience, people with stable lives typically don't like to take risk.
Yeah. So I would say it probably comes from my dad. So my dad, he went from the United States he went from Cuba to the United States on a raft. So he fucking risked everything. He risked his life pretty much to get to the States. I'd say I just have it in me. I am not a person that is not okay with not taking risk. Like, why would you not want to take risks? That just sounds boring, dude. Like, fuck that. I want to be able to have that adrenaline and do whatever it takes. Because for me, the simplest thing is if I see other people doing it, you're not doing anything different. You're just following the pave that they have already created for you. All you got to do is just put in the work.
What does your father think of your lifestyle now? Because he came across in a raft. We're flying across in a private jet. Yeah, it's completely different worlds. What's his thoughts on your life?
So he doesn't understand what I do, right? He really doesn't get it. I pulled up in the Bugatti the other day to his house just to show him. He was like, oh, nice. All right, cool. He doesn't know how much it's worth. Like, these guys barely know how to use WhatsApp. These are OG Cubans, it's like 56 years old. They are obviously not extremely happy that I didn't go to college. They don't like the fact that I don't have a degree, that I have something guaranteed. That scares them.
But is a college degree guaranteed anymore? It's not what it used to be, is it?
Yeah, but they don't know that. Like, they're already on that. Like, they're stuck on, like, their mindset is stuck on time there. And they haven't been able to get out of that mindset because they don't have to, right? They got their job. My dad started a small business and he just stayed there. He's like, look, I started my small business with my degree. You should do the same. It's the only way you're going to succeed. So obviously he's proud of everything that I've achieved. He sees the stuff, but he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. Like, I do all these videos. I talk about him all the time. He never sees them.
I think that, like, speaking of not really getting it, I don't really get it either. Like, how does it actually work?
In terms of trading?
Yeah, like in terms of trading, like, how does it actually work?
Okay, so you guys know when Bitcoin, because you guys got to understand, all the markets are the same, right? Markets go up and markets go down. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, we're long-term investors, but we just...
I like stocks, yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so when a market goes up, it's because there's a lot of buyers. There's more buyers than sellers. When the market goes down, there's more sellers than buyers, right? That's just the concept of trading. When let's say right now you invest into a stock or you invest into Bitcoin, whatever. When you make money, somebody else is technically losing that money. Do you guys understand the concept of that, right? So it's supply and demand. It's an end zero game. If you make $100, somebody in their P&L is losing $100. Simple. It's exact same thing in day trading. The only thing, or when I trade Forex, you're just betting that the market is going to go up, or you're betting that the market is going to go down. You're not actually owning any stock. You're not owning any digital currency. You're not owning anything. You're just on a broker. And on this broker, you basically bet that it's going to go up or you bet that it's going to go down. That is simply it. It's very, very simple.
But how do you do that consistently and not, is it down to luck or is it down to skill, patterns?
Because I bet on sports, but I never fucking win.
Okay.
So where's that?
And also the differences with sports is like you have knowledge about that team or who's good or whatever. So with this, it seems random, is it?
Okay, perfect. I love this question. This is perfect because I understand where you guys are coming from and I had the same concept. So the market's going to do two things, 50% up or 50% down. You already have a 50-50, right? When you place bets on your sports, what do they pay you out? A 1-to-1. So let's say you bet $100, you're going to win $100. If you have, let's say, a 50% win rate, you're break even. You're not making any money. So you lose out of 10 times, you lose 5 and you win 5. If you bet a 1-to-1, you're break even. You're not making any money. Okay. Where trading is completely different. You can have the same 50-50, but what makes profitable in trading, what makes the edge is the risk to reward. So for every dollar that I bet, I have a minimum of a 1 to 3. So if I'm betting $100, I gain $300 every single time. So let's say out of 10 trades, I lose 5 of them and then I win the other 5. If you have a 1-to-1, you're break even because you're just getting the same thing that you risked. But with a 1 to 3 risk to reward, I make 15% and you deduct the 5 that I lost, I'm up 10%.
So is that because it's more risky, so the reward's higher?
No, it's because there's like you're trading with leverage. So you're trading with like the broker's money, you're trading with the bank's money. So with leverage, you're able to then have greater risk to reward on the bets that you're doing, essentially. So you're not like owning anything. When you enter a position that's in a trend, you just get that risk to reward greater and greater. Like that is the edge of trading, because at the end of the day, you can literally just go into the market and second guess. Like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to buy or I'm going to sell. At the end of the day, what I just do is I try and paint a picture on why is this going to go down versus go up. I never know 100%. All I do is try and find the majority of confluences that, you know what, this makes more sense to go to the downside right now versus to the upside.
What's a few examples of what would make it make sense?
Easy. First thing is going to be trend. So right now, let's say you have, let's say Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin currently on the weekly time frame, it's in a bearish trend. The structure's to the downside. All right,
Don't remind me.
Yeah. I'm down deep right now in Bitcoin. So first thing is weekly time frame's bearish. All right. So based off of the weekly, it makes more sense to sell than to buy. That's just one thing. Second thing is you go down to the daily. The daily time frame, the structure is bearish as well. Daily time frame makes more sense to sell to buy. You do that from, it's called top-down analysis. So you start from the top, the weekly time frame, you make it all the way down to the 1 hour. And you come up to a conclusion, okay, you know what? 70% of the time frames are going to the downside. Logistically, already logically, it makes more sense to sell rather than buy just based off of the trend. That's just the one pointer that I look at when I go into a position. The second is going to be the area of interest. Where am I going to buy? Where am I going to sell? Am I buying at a key level, like a bank institutional level? Am I buying at a strong level of support? Am I selling at a strong level of resistance? That's the second thing. And then the third thing is going to be, what time do I enter the trade? Am I entering the trade when there's high volume or when there's low volume? And these are all the things that at the end, when you add them all up together, you're like, fuck, you know what? It does make more sense to sell rather than buy, or it makes more sense to buy rather than sell. And you just add a 1 to 3 risk to reward to that, and you simply have an edge. That's just simply how it works.
Why is this something that AI can't do? So if you're, you mentioned earlier the problem that you had with the challenges was taking that risk and, you know, the mentality side of things. And if you take that out and you just get a robot to do it, why can't they do it better than a person? And if that's the case, why don't these massive institutions just do it themselves with all of these different technologies?
So there's definitely AIs out there that do it, but they don't do it as a retail trader. I'm a retail trader myself. So they do it on an institutional level. So it's these like fast algos that they're in and out within seconds because they're like micro scalping. And they do have somewhat of an edge, and they do it, but they need a human to constantly update that code. Like the AI is only going to learn as much as you teach it. And if you teach it up to 2022, the price action from 2022 is completely irrelevant to the one that is current updated right now. Like let's say right now with the elections, that the elections are going to happen. The market's going to go crazy. If there's not a human behind that AI updating that code, the AI, all it knows is what the market has done previously, what the market has done to the left. It can't predict the future because the future hasn't happened. So AI could do it, but it's going to always need a human, and the AI's code is based off of a human strategy.
Yeah, what if we get to a stage where you could, you know, feed the internet, the data from the internet and all the news and everything straight into the AI? Could you circumvent the human in that scenario?
I personally have tested more than 10 different AIs with track records of years, 2 or 3 years. And the moment that I put money into it, blows, gone, right? It's always a coincidence. I am a firm believer that human trading will outdo AI trading any day. As of right now. Now, I'm not a quant, I'm not a coder, I'm not an AI specialist, but what I have is experience in both. I have experience in investing into AI, and I trade personally myself. I feel like I can look at the markets, see the technical analysis, and read somewhat of the fundamentals that are happening and make more of a logical decision than a bot.
Okay.
That's simple.
And if trading got more popular and more people were investing using your strategies, would that cause the price maybe to go up when you think it's going to go down? And would that be a problem if more people got into trading?
Yeah, so that would be a problem if we were like, let's say in the stock market. So the stock market has smaller caps, like billions. The Forex market, it's a $6.3 trillion market a day. Like I would need like a whole country to enter one position with me, and then we'll move the market. So as of right now, not that big. And you know, like people could use the strategy, but there's many different markets. Like there's hundreds of different currencies pairs that trade against each other, and it would take a whole country on the same pair to execute at the same time. Like the strategy works on any currency against another one across the whole entire FX market.
What's your opinion on signal groups?
Yeah, so I did signals about 2.5 years ago. I had a winning streak for 14 weeks. So I was profitable minimum 2% every week for 14 weeks. Brutal. That was the most stressful thing on the face of the earth. I think signals are good if the trader's obviously good. For a beginner trader to see that there is money behind this, that it's not a scam, that it's real, that you can just place a bet and you can actually make money. So I think signals are good for people to get involved into trading and understand it. But I don't think you should rely on signals to make money from trading and it be your end all be all.
Aren't a lot of like these gurus that sell signals, they're over leveraging people's account, making them, you know, deposit money to the broker so they can get a commission, and then over leveraging you so you can turn your $500 into a vast amount. And then obviously when you blow it, it's gone. Is that sort of what people are doing? That's my understanding.
Yeah, so there's different types of signal providers. There's just somebody that they have like a Telegram chat and they'll be like, hey, I'm looking to enter Euro USD, sell position here, my stop loss is here, my take profit is here. Now you as a trader looking at the signal, you can decide, all right, you know what, I'm going to take it or not. You do the decision. I'm letting you know what I'm getting into. If you want to take it, you take it. If not, or not. That's what I used to do. But then I stopped it literally like 2 years ago. But then there's other people that they have PAM accounts and MAM accounts. So the way that works is that you deposit your money into a broker and you connect it to this PAM account or MAM account, and this account copy trades this main account. But there's always slippage, there's always brokers, fees, and all this stuff that goes back and forth. And that's more of a social trader tool. So you're copying another person's automatically positions without you having to do anything. So there's different types of ways of doing it. There's a lot of broker affiliations out there that people do that. I don't do it myself. I haven't affiliated with a broker in my whole entire trading career.
What's your opinion on stock trading, and why don't you do day trading with stocks and stick to Forex?
I originally started off with stocks when I was looking to get into trading, but the problem is that it was 9 to 5. So the stock market is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I was working at Dunkin Donuts when I got started. I couldn't trade 9 to 5. I'm working 9 to 5. So I got also kind of beat up by the minimum deposit by one of the bigger brokers, which is 25,000. And I didn't have 25,000 at the time to deposit because it's super regulated in the stock space. So the Forex space, it's open 24/5. So literally Monday through Friday, you have New York session, London, Tokyo, Asia. You have more possibilities than, let's say, the stock market. And the entry barrier is a lot smaller. You can just start off with $100. So I kind of tailored to that because I was able to trade at nighttime when I got home, and I could start with a lot less money. Little did I know what it was going to turn into.
What are the differences in strategies between stock trading and Forex trading? And is it a completely different game? Like if you wanted, could you go into the stock trading game?
I think I could. I've never tried it. The problem is that the market opens and closes. So I just don't know how to read a market that has this much price action and then it goes empty and then it opens up again at a completely different price. Like that gap, like the market gaps all the time in the stock market. I'm not used to that. I'm used to seeing the whole entire move all of the time. I think I could be able to do it, but it's not something. Probably when I complete the 100 to the mil, I'll probably go and try it at the stock market or something, you know?
Yeah, sounds like a good challenge. You've got a friend, haven't you? Yeah, if you want to share that story.
Yeah, so I have a friend who he quit his job and he went all in with trading when the pandemic started. He went 100% all in. He moved in with his girlfriend, quit his job, and he was doing FTMO challenges, trying to get a funded account. He wasted, quite a lot of money doing it for a long period of time, which then got him into debt because he was, taking out loans to be able to pay for the challenge and failing the challenge, losing the money, so on. He eventually got an account and he made, I think, about $2,000 in a week. And I was like, okay,
But before that, you were telling him, this is a scam. You shouldn't be doing it.
My advice to him was always like, trading doesn't provide any value to society. And I think if you want to make money, you should be providing value to society. So I was saying, like, why don't you learn to video edit or, start making content or something like that? He was like, no, I just want to trade. He eventually got an account, made $2,000 in a week. And I thought, fucking hell, I was wrong. Like, I can't believe it. Blew the account in a week, lost the lot. Then he started video editing and now he's working for us. He's doing really well. clear path for progression. We're really happy with how things are going. And I just find it interesting that, you know,
Still wants to trade.
yeah,
That's
but
the
he
long-term
still,
vision.
still wants to trade. I think it's a little bit delusional, in my opinion, and I think that he should continue doing what he's doing. I think that there's things that me and him can do together. We're thinking of different businesses we can start to get him on a path to 6 figures. But just what do you think about that?
I don't think it's meant for everybody. Not everybody's meant to be successful. You got to be a dog. You have to have that fight in you.
He's gonna watch this and be like, "Yo, I do.
I did message him yesterday. I said, can I talk about your story? He's like, yeah, if you want. I don't see what you'll gain from it, but yeah, do it. I was like, okay, cool.
How long did he do it for?
Since the pandemic. And then he stopped.
So a couple of years, and he was doing journaling and everything like meditating.
I mean, that's like 3-4 years, isn't it?
Doing spa and cold plunge as well.
Yeah, whatever. Bro, honestly,
Is that the key? More cold plunges, better trades. Maybe he needs to spend more time trading. But
Bro, I've made more than $10 million in trading. I don't meditate. I don't read a book. I don't do any of that stuff. I think that's all super superficial, superstitious stuff that other people need to do to feel better. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I don't think you have to do it. So to your boy, I just don't think he's definitely not, for sure. If he keeps blowing these accounts, the first thing he's not doing, he's not using risk management. That's the first thing.
I think that to touch on that, I think that what the issue probably is because he's mentioned this to me, is that like, because he quit the job, took on the debt to fund the challenges, you're then in a position where it's like, well, I've got £1,000 worth of bills to pay a month. I've got these loans, etc. I need to be making money. And when you need to make money, you do things that you don't want to do.
Like, that's literally exactly what I was going to go into. It's like, he's probably not using risk management because since he doesn't have an income, he's trying to pass the challenge as fast as he can. He's trying to make money as fast as he can because he has dues to pay. And that is the problem with 99% of the people that fail in this industry. They treat trading like if it was a casino. They want to come in and just make money, like if this is a casino. Yeah, the opportunity of you just coming in and making money is there, but it's not sustainable. You have to treat trading like a business. Every single trade that I enter, to me, it's a business investment. Like, let's say right now, I'm going to go invest into a business. I'm like, okay, you know what? How much time has this business been opened? How many people does it have it employed? What's the margins? What's their marketing? What's the product? What's the future of the product? I look at the whole entire aspect of the business. I'm like, you know what? This is a logical business decision. This business is going to grow. It's the exact same thing when it comes to trading. You're supposed to treat a trade like a business decision. You know what? This market has this many time frames in a trend. It has this news fundamentals adding to it. Everything that makes it a logical investment. Don't just treat it like, okay, I'm just going to click buy or sell, get lucky and make money. That's what 99% of the people do. They don't treat it like a business. They just want to go in and make money. For me, every single trade that I take is an investment into a new business.
Okay, so I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of people watching that are going to hear this conversation and it's like, I want to learn to trade.
Okay.
So let's use my friend as an example. If we could go back in time and you could guide him through this journey, what would you have said to do? What could he have done that would have allowed him to become successful?
Get out of the cold plunge.
yeah, are the challenges all legit? Because there's a lot of these challenges going on, isn't there? With the what's it called?
FTMO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, FTMO.
I think there's a few different ones, but I think that's just one.
Yeah, FTMO is legit. FTMO is number one right now. I actually got funded with FTMO. I became successful because of FTMO. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I learned how to manage my money because of the challenge. I did not know how to properly use risk management. And so I blew 25 of these accounts and I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to risk 1% to 2%. And I learned because of these challenges. So to your question, what would we do with your friend? The first thing is don't leave the job. Dude, you got to be making money. Treat trading like a business. You can't go and open up a business when you have no experience, when you have no idea what you're doing, and you have no money. That's just not a good equation. When you go invest into a business, it's because you have another income coming in and you treat this other business like an investment. So the first thing is stay with your job so you're able to have a income coming in. And if, let's say, you have a bad trading week or you haven't figured out yet, you can take time off and practice in a demo account, or you could just look at the market and not actually put anything at risk. That would be the first thing. The first thing is don't go into trading wanting to make money right away if you don't have some type of an income. The second thing would be start off small. Start off with $100, $50, $20. Just get a feel for putting money at risk. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a book about it. I didn't read it. I don't read books, but I just saw like the highlights of it.
So I love that.
I've never read a book in my life.
Fuck books, bro.
Only because he can't read, though, not because he doesn't want to.
Shut up.
So the book, basically, one of the parts of it is that a human being cannot make more than two logical business. No, what is it? No, yeah. A human being cannot make more than two logical decisions a day around the money. They just simply can't. The human just doesn't connect to it because people are so emotionally attached to money. So why would somebody that has probably never put any money at risk go right into a business where everything you do is putting money at risk? So get used to putting money at risk. Start off with $20, $50. Get used to that P&L going up and down. And you're going to be like, holy shit, like I'm ready for this. Or it's like, you know what? No, it's too much. That's the first thing, right? Then the third thing after that would be, bro, be ready to put in 8 to 10 hours every single day until who knows when. No one's going to come to you and be like, yo, you know what? Tomorrow you graduate and you're going to be successful.
Well, that makes sense. It's funny what he says about like you can only make a couple of decisions about money, because something that's funny about me, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I've never made money on an investment in my life. I always make that. The only way I can make money is if I go out and physically make it. If I buy a watch, I lose money. If I buy a stock, I sell it before it goes up and I would have made 20 grand. If I buy crypto, same thing. Every investment I've ever made.
I've bought crypto.
Yeah, briefly here, there, like 1,000 here and there, but yeah.
You're probably down. You're probably down on it.
Oh, Luke was trying to convince him, you got to buy crypto, man, and he still hasn't.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that today, though. We can't keep doing it.
So because of stories like Kai's friend there losing a lot of money, and I guess the fact that most people factually lose money in day trading, there's a lot of people that might think Forex is an absolute scam. I think you're a scammer.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
That was an intro clip there.
Yeah, that was good. Go watch my 100 to the Mill series. Go look at me turn $100 into $90,000 over the course of 2 months. If you watch, they're long videos. They're an hour and a half long each video because I'm literally teaching you how I'm looking at the market, where I'm looking to get in. I fucking sit in front of the computer for 2 hours. There's a tripod behind me and I'm just waiting for it to come. As soon as I execute the position, I take the camera off the tripod. I'm like, look, I'm entering the position. If you watch those 10 hours of me turning $100 into a $90,000 right now, and you still think it's a scam, I'll quit. I'll stop right now. Anybody that thinks that it's a scam is just coming to conclusions right away because they heard something from somebody or they saw something, but they're not actually doing their own due diligence and coming to the bottom of it.
But are most gurus in the space scamming, or at least are a large proportion of them scamming?
So
The thing is, it's such an easy dream to sell people, right?
Yeah.
You can get on your laptop, you can trade, and you can have a lifestyle like this.
oh, dude, if we had Wi-Fi right now, I'll teach you how to be a guru in 30 seconds. So you get 2 phones, right? You guys have 2 phones, right?
Yeah.
On one phone, you buy. And then on the other phone, you sell. Whichever one hits, you just screen and that's it.
I never even thought of that, yeah.
It's super easy, right? It's like not hard at all. And that is the problem with this industry. It's so easy to fake your profits. It's so easy to just cap on it.
Who's faking?
There's a lot of people faking out there. I can't name drop. I would love to name drop.
These people are destroying lives, but they're making your industry look bad. They're making you look bad, who's a legitimate trader. So surely we need to put some pressure on them and expose them, right?
Yeah, I know. I want to do it bad. I'll tell you guys like 4 off camera. I'll tell you, because they have, like the shitty part is that they did it so well that they created a platform off of just lying. They created a platform off of doing this same thing that I'm showing you. And it's a very easy thing to just sell. But the problem is that the people that are being sold on that are just even like dumber. Because for you to get sold on something so easy, the quality decline just goes down. And that's also the issue. When the quality decline goes down, their patience level is very low. So they can test something out for 30 minutes and if they don't see that it works, scam right away. You know, like the other day, somebody joined my community and there's an automated email sequence that when you buy, you automatically get access. It went to their spam. Like, I can't control that shit. I got blown up. Scammer. I paid your shit. You didn't give it to me. I'm like, dude, check your fucking spam box. It's probably in there. It's like, oh, sorry. You know? So that's the problem with this industry. Since it's so easy to get in, the entry barrier is so low. Very low quality minded people come in and they're not ready for the battle for 2 years to lose without knowing when you're going to win. And that's why it gets that bad reputation.
I have quite an open-ended question. Like as you were talking, I was just sat here looking out the window and I'm thinking like, we're on a private jet. We're going to the Dominican Republic. Life's crazy. What do you think about like lifestyle business, trading, all of that stuff, and just like the impact that that has on society? Because we were talking earlier, and I was saying about like if someone from World War II could be resurrected now, they would look at what we're doing and they'd be like, this guy literally sits at home on his phone, and just prints cash.
And you were saying about the mukbangs as well, when they sit there eating food. Was it Nico Avocado,
Whatever his name is, but you get the point. Like people nowadays, like even us to some degree, in some ways, you know, like people who have already passed, they would say like that it's crazy. How are you printing cash doing what you're doing? What do you think about that?
I think it's the new golden era. I think there was a golden era before, let's say with like real estate or with like the internet, just anything on the internet, Amazon. And I say like we're in that new golden era where people just get on a camera, talk about their story, and just people consume it. And when people consume it, they get invested into it and they just want to be like that person. So I would say it's just a new era that is literally taking over everything right now. Like, I don't think anybody goes and watches television anymore. They just go to YouTube, they watch a podcast, they watch a video, and like that's their form of entertainment. Live streaming. Who would have thought somebody live streaming, playing a game, like would get viewership? Like somebody is supposed to be playing the game, not watching somebody play the game. I don't understand.
I think that's what keeps us motivated in part though, is that like, this has never happened before. We've got this opportunity that no one's ever had. I almost feel like it's my duty to make the most of it, because someone from the past will be looking at this going, what the fuck are you doing? Like, use this for all you have, because we didn't have that. We didn't have that blessing to be able to make money so easily doing pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah, I'd say it would be just a new golden era. And if you don't take up on the opportunity that it is right now, you're going to miss out. And there's probably going to be a new other one. I don't know what it's going to be, probably flying cars or fucking, I don't know, you know, but shit just comes very, very, very fast. And I think to the people that have passed, if they were to be able to come back and look at what we were doing, I think they would do the same. They would maximize.
I think you're a genius with all this lifestyle marketing, but how much of your life would be the same if you weren't recording, if you weren't using it for marketing?
Yeah.
You live the same life?
Probably not. I feel like now my duty is to live like a crazy lifestyle. I feel like I inspire and I motivate a lot of people out there. And almost to the point where like, if I don't do something for the people to motivate them and just do something crazy. Like the other day, like I have a Porsche GT3. Like I just broke the back windshield because like something fell on it and like I just smashed it. Like people see that and they're like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, guys, you see, you have a small mind. You think I'm destroying the car. The back windshield costs $200 to fix. Like it's practically free. But like, oh, but you're destroying the car. It's like, no, dude, like I'm literally just getting your attention. I'm showing you how easily gullible you are. Like it's $200. So it's like different little angles like that open people's mind. And I say that, you know, living the crazy lifestyle that I live now, I like it because it forces me to do crazy shit. And at the same time, you know, you're putting it out there.
And it's cool that you get an ROI from basically living a cooler life and experiencing a cooler life. You're actually making more money from that.
Yeah, like
it's like a loop.
Dude, the personal brand has made me almost equal amount of money than in trading. Like I'm not one of these guys gonna be out here like, oh, I don't make money from a course. Bro, I make a fuck ton of money from a course. But you know what? If I wasn't good at what I do, people wouldn't buy my course. Like nobody would come and join. The people would literally dispute. I wouldn't be able to have a good reputation and people recommend it to other people. I make a shit ton of money from the educational business. I make a lot of money from the personal brand and the info businesses that I have and I'm involved as well. The tech, if the person that I am because of the social media got me into the rooms with other celebrities that I started tech companies with. Without the personal brand, I could be the richest man in the world. I could never be able to talk to these people because there's just no direct connection.
How do you feel about privacy? Because these boys are telling me I need to show more on social media, I need to spend more money doing this and that. And for me, I'd rather stay behind the scenes, keep it private, do the podcast, of course, but not show too much. But maybe that's a mistake.
I think you're making a mistake. If you're going to do it, just do it. Why are you going to half-ass it? Like if you're already putting yourself out there, just show people everything about you. You don't know how you're going to change somebody's life or affect it because somebody's seeing only a very small segment of your life and they probably think that you're perfect. They think that everything in your life is good. But if you probably show them that you're going through some struggles or just regular life stuff, they can look at that and they can resonate and be like, oh shit, like this guy's living how I want to live. But you know what? He does go through shit. Like he does sit in traffic or he does have a bad morning or get sick. And I think if you're going to be the person to put yourself out there for only the good. You also have to do it for the bad.
How do you feel about also attracting like the wrong kind of people with like this crazy lifestyle and showing this car, that car, wrecking a car like you mentioned? I know it wasn't that expensive, but the kind of people that are attracted to that, I imagine, aren't the kind of people that are going to make the best traders because they're all quite emotional. You know,
Yeah.
they've been driven by that passion that they want that lifestyle.
Yeah, I call them degens. You guys know what a degen is?
Yeah.
Like a degenerate. And I think they can change if they really want to change. I was a degenerate when I was younger. I used to smoke weed. I used to skip school. And I decided to change. I became the person that I am now. And I am like a rich degenerate with like caution, you know? So I think I could be an example for people with that. At the end of the day, the way I look at it is like, bro, like when you make money, the point is for you to live life how you want. And I feel like I'm been able to do that right now.
What was the craziest thing you bought when you first had a ton of money?
When I had a ton of money, the craziest thing I got was probably the first thing I ever bought when I actually started making money in trading was a pair of Vans. Like it was like 50 bucks.
Nice.
It felt real. I still have
Spender, damn.
it's like 50 bucks. But I'd say the craziest thing I got was probably the Richard Mille. Because the cars, when you buy them, you put down 20%. You don't have to pay them out cash. The most that I ever just came out one time for one thing was probably the Richard Mille, which is like 200,000, my first one.
Now you've got this personal brand, and as you say, you're already maybe making the same amount of money from that as you would from trading. Obviously, you can scale that a lot more now and make 10 times more than you could from your personal brand than trading. So what's next for you? What other ventures are you going into? Partnerships are you planning on doing, etc.?
Yeah, so right now I'm involved in a sports betting company called Fan Funded. So very similar model to the prop trading. So basically you pass a challenge for trading, they'll fund you money. So then you can become a profitable trader using their money, profits, whatever. We did that same exact concept, but for sports betting. So I've been in the prop space running a very successful business for the last 2 years. So I've had an FTMO for the last 2 years. We were number 6 in the world for like 8 months. So what we did is we took our knowledge and that same concept, and then we took it to the sports betting space. And then now we're basically doing the same thing as the trading, but in sports betting. That would be like if we do it right, just because sports betting is so much bigger than trading. Like you go to YouTube or anywhere, Google, and you search up the keyword trading, you get like 7 million views a month. You search of sports betting, it's like 50 million because it's a whole international thing. Anybody can sports bet because it's more fun. Like right now we could be watching a game. We're having a great time. You're not going to cold plunge. You're not going to read a book to go sports bet. You're just going to go with the boys, have a beer and bet. With trading, you got to think, you got to study, you got to do all this stuff. So the narrative is a lot different. So I'm involved in the sports betting company that if we do it correctly, it will be $1 billion company.
There's obviously a lot of other sports betting companies out there because of how popular it is. So how do you differentiate yourself from those other competitors?
We're number 1 in the world right now. We're the only, because we're the only there's like 2 competitors basically. We created a new field in the sports betting space. Like right now, if you want to go to sports bet, you have to deposit into a regular sports book and they'll pay you a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2, whatever. Not with us. With us, you have to buy our challenge, which will cost you a 5% of what you could get funded with. And if you pass the challenge, we'll fund you, basically.
What do you mean though by like a 1-to-1? Because in the UK, like the betting is not like 1-to-1. Like you can get a 250 to 1. You get 1,000 to 1. Like 10 to 1, whatever.
You could get 500, but like I always use like the 1-to-1. So like let's say you bet $100, you get $100, you win. So technically you win $200, but it's a 1-to-1 because you gave the house $100. That's why it's a 1-to-1.
See, I don't conservatively bet. When I'm betting, I'm going for the 1,000 to 1s or whatever, and that's why I never win.
Yeah. Those parlays never.
I just think if I'm gonna bet 100 and make 100, I feel like it's just not worth it. Like I just can't be bothered to even think about it or even do it.
But like, you could pass a challenge doing that because all you got to do to get funded is just make 30% of the actual challenge, and then you get funded up to whatever challenge you have.
I want to talk about what Tom just said a second ago about he used the words that money is easy to make. And I'm curious what you think about that first, because I think you would disagree with that. I disagree with that. My sort of, what I think is that it's very, very hard to make money at the beginning, but once you build the things that will allow you to make money, then it becomes easy. But curious what you guys think about that, because it's very easy to say when you're sat on a private jet, money's easy to make. But
when I guess to give you my response, because I said the statement, it's easier to make than ever before ever. So yeah, it's hard, and we've all worked really hard, but if you dropped me in the 1600s or here, it's going to be like, it's not even comparable.
I think it's a snowball effect, obviously. So once you get the skills, then you can turn it into money. Once you got the assets, then that produces the money. But like we've been discovering recently, everyone is incompetent. No one's very good. And if you get to that level where you're actually quite good at what you do, it becomes so easy because the competition is so low.
And that is so true. Like, I know a lot of people say it online that, you know, your competition is so weak and they use it as a hook on a video and people think it isn't true. But if you actually look around and just even any business that you go to spend money, you know, I could go to a business and be wanting to spend $1,000, $5,000. Everybody is incompetent. It's only when, you know, you're flying private or you're at the best of the best hotels or whatever that people actually start to become competent. So everybody on the lower income levels is extremely incompetent.
And they're unaware that they're not, that they think they're much better than they actually are, which stops them getting to that level of actually self-awareness. You know, I'm that level.
Even so, people being incompetent, it's still easier to make money now on the internet than it would have been back in the day. Like before, you needed a building, a shop, staff, stock. Even an incompetent person now can make a decent amount of money just from something on their laptop, not even being a naturally gifted person.
I think interestingly though as well, we use the word incompetent, but I would say that maybe not everybody's incompetent. Maybe some people just don't give a fuck. Because like, for example, when we flew to meet you, our luggage got lost. I was talking to this lady. It's lucky that Tom took over because she was just doing.
No, Tom gave her the puppy dog eyes. So
I cannot even talk to you anymore. But is she incompetent or does she just not care that I've lost my luggage because she doesn't get paid enough to care?
Yeah, she doesn't care, bro. It's not her brand.
Yeah, so maybe it's not all incompetence. It's also just people don't care. But if you care and you actually try, then you will get someone.
I agree with what you said. I think based off of the level, people's motivation is going to take them to the next level and how much they can actually think they could get to. Some people just don't generally think they could make it to 100K a month, 200K a month, or even $1 million a month. They just don't really think that that's possible. I would say anything under like $25,000 a month is the easy game if you have what it takes to get to the 100K a month. Because once you start making 100K a month in whatever business, now you're dealing with people that have multiple employees. You're dealing with people that have probably been in business long enough to be able to project and innovate in the space, and the competition becomes a lot harder. But it's also self-doubt with a lot of people. You know, the people that do take the step, they're just scared of failing and they just don't want to scale, because when you scale, you fall harder. But
I'd agree completely. I think I've even noticed that, you know, the more we hang out with people who are incredibly successful and spend time with them, I guess the more you see it for yourself, that it's real, it can happen. That guy's no more clever than I am. That guy's, I'm more skilled than him, but he's here and I'm here. It gives you that self-belief. Maybe that's the beauty of content as well. You can see it for your own eyes and make that comparison and realize they're a normal person. They can do it. So can I.
I mean, dude, I have students that literally, one of these guys, he's actually from London. I don't know where he said he was from. He said he was from like a far town somewhere far. I don't know. He was like maybe.
No, I can't say that. We had to. That was the dumbest shit. Just stopped myself. Right. We'll beat that out.
Okay, yeah. So basically, like somewhere super, super far. He's like, dude, in my town, there is no such thing as a supercar. It just like it's non-existent. It just doesn't happen. But off of social media, I'm able to see somebody else that is able to do something online
Exactly the same as me.
and have a supercar. So I know that it's possible. But let's say we were in the 90s, like we don't even have to go back that far. If there's no internet, if you're born in that town, you don't see what's outside of that town. You can have the brightest mind, you can have the best everything, but if you just don't see the other possibilities, you're simply not going to be able to grow because you just don't know what's possible.
You get married, buy a house, die.
Exactly. Literally. Yeah. And then you're 9 to 5.
We're on the way to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What's the plan when you land?
So about a year ago, I decided to get involved into a tobacco company, and we bought out a company that just wasn't successful. You know, these are like an OG Dominican. It started off the whole logistics of creating a cigar, which by the way, there's like 425 steps to create a cigar. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you wouldn't even think about it.
No, you can literally Google it. How many steps to create a cigar? And everything is handmade. There's no machines involved. Everything is by hand. And about a year ago, I decided to take the step and be able to get involved into a cigar brand because I saw that like the Iman Ghazi, he was getting involved in a drink. Logan Paul getting involved in an energy drink. Everybody's getting involved in all of these I would say, very competitive spaces, like all these shelf space industries, right? Walmart.
Yeah, the other day we went to Target to get, I don't know if you know him, Ryan Trahan. He's got this new thing called Joyride, which are sour strips. We just went and bought a ton of them because they're not in the UK. But there's so many of these creative brands. I think Feastables, Prime, of course.
Exactly.
It's becoming a massive thing.
So they all go to like these very, very big things that are already difficult to be able to market, because there's, you have Red Bull that's very unique with marketing. But if you think about it, this new generation, because of Andrew Tate, everybody started smoking cigars. When you think of smoking a cigar, you just think of like OG, chill back, relax in a lounge. You don't think of like new modern age. So we looked at that opportunity as an opportunity to create a brand around that. It's like, yo, you know what? Why don't we create a brand on the new wave of young guys getting involved into smoking cigars? And we can create a brand that connects with the younger crowd, because the younger people are getting involved into smoking. And if we create a foundation on that, as of right now, in 10 years, these guys will be older, but they just stayed with the ones. Think about it. If you guys go right now into Cigar Lounge, you walk into the humiditor, you see 1,000 cigars, you don't know which one to pick. To you, they're all the same. They're all the same thing at the end of the day. But if you have one, let's say in a white box, it's going to stand out from all the ones that are in a wooden one. So we decided to go into it as the younger crowd and differentiate ourselves from the different ones. Because I have the story from Jesse Eitzler. He invested into a company, I think it was avocados. And I think it was avocados, or did you guys see that?
I haven't heard of it.
No? So he was it avocados? I think it was avocados. And he was like, dude, when was the last time avocados were fun? Never. The dude created a fun avocado company, sold it for $1 billion. So we're going to make the cigar company a young one. We're going to make it a brand new brand, give it a whole new face, a whole new feel, so people can have more connection to it, not just feel like it's these random cigar brands that nobody has any idea about it.
And logistically, how are you going about doing that? Are you partnering with, an existing supplier, existing company? Are you doing it from scratch? How do you do that?
Yeah, so if we would want to do it from scratch, it would basically be impossible.
Yeah.
Each cigar that we have right now takes 12 years to make. So the leaves have to dry, they have to cure, they have to do the whole...
Is that maybe why you don't see new brands cropping up? Because they can't?
They can't. It takes a very long time. So we were very fortunate that my buddy here that we're going to go visit, that he's from Dominican Republic and he's very well known. And he was in the markets already like 2 years ago for it, because there's a lot of brands that start off but then just don't do well. And we were able to negotiate a deal where we bought into this brand, and we're like, look, you just stay handling everything manufacturing the cigar. Put it on the box. Once it's on the box, we'll take care. So that's the deal that we were able to strike. And he's still, he's our partner, and he handles the back end of it, and we just handle the front end of it.
So you're in marketing and getting the leads.
Yeah.
How are you going to go about doing that, other than, you have your personal brand and content? Do you have any big major plans for blowing it up, basically?
Yeah. I mean, bro, I don't know if you guys know, I streak the Super Bowl, the American one here.
Yeah.
I have some, let's just say I have some creative, like very creative, crazy things that I will be doing smoking the cigar.
Are the rules around advertising a cigar different? Because obviously it is a danger to your health.
It is tobacco. So yeah, there is some type of regulation depending on where it is. And then also the bigger issue is the import export, because there's taxes you got to pay on all that stuff depending on the country you're importing and exporting of. And as of right now, we're just doing everything straight out of Dominican Republic. Like, we're not putting it on the shelf of any humidifier in the United States or anywhere else. Everything is just very exclusive, and we have limited drops. So let's say, like, when I complete the 100 to the mill, I'm going to come out with a box that would be one of 500 to the mill edition. Like, it's very limited thing. Like, right now we just want to build the brand. We're not looking to make any money on it. We're just burning a shit ton of cash on it right now.
What about bringing other influential people on board to also sort of be the face or an influencer in the product? Is that something that you're looking at as well?
So as for now, it's just going to be me. I'm going to be the one pushing it. Obviously, we save costs on that, but we do have some plans, like, getting like a Snoop Dogg on will be perfect, right? Yeah. He's like key to smoking, or somebody like Wiz Khalifa, like all these guys that are known for smoking weed. We're going to be like, yo, let's change your narrative to now smoking a cigar, or I don't know. Well, we could definitely figure something out. And getting to these guys is really not that hard. Like, it's really not.
Are you concerned about smoking getting banned? Because that's something that's happening in the UK at the moment. I'm not sure if the law's actually passed or not, but it was proposed that that you can't smoke in pub gardens and stuff like that now, or even in nightclubs, outside nightclubs. So it seems a bit crazy. They're clamping down on it.
Yeah, maybe. I know the whole e-cigarettes things that became a big deal and a big issue. The way I look at it is it's a passion project. You know, I'm not looking to make a shit ton of money from it. I just think it's super cool. Who else can say that they own a farm in Dominican Republic of cigars? And it's a very rare thing. And I think we can scale it. Everything goes well. I don't think regulation or anything will be an issue. Hopefully not.
So weird when we're tipping in the play.
I know. We're like tipping to the side. Yeah, we're almost here.
We're getting low now to the ground, so things are getting a little bit
oh yeah, look, you can see the ground.
exciting. We're about to see the first ever podcast on a jet landing. If you've ever wondered what it's like to land a jet mid-podcast, you're about to find out.
Yeah, we have a solid like another 10 minutes.
Better follow the rules, get the seatbelts on.
Ah, shit. Even when you fly, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there will still be somebody in the comments saying it was fake.
This is fake.
Well, you know what? I love the haters. I love them. I become friends with the haters, honestly.
Big up the haters. Do you ever get hate in real life on the street? People coming up to you, throwing things?
Never. What I did get was somebody that was talking shit about me on social media. I had no idea, right? Because I just don't pay attention to any of that stuff. And he came up to me at a restaurant, sat there and talked to me for like 30 minutes and asked about like how to make YouTube videos, how to go about like building a community, how about all this stuff. And like 2 days later, one of his video pops up. I'm like, dude, this guy was literally being my BFF like at this restaurant, and now and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So no, nobody's ever come up to me and tried me or anything, because like, dude, I haven't done anything. Like I haven't. I would say the only thing where I've fucked up on is telling people to enter a trade and the trade losing. That's pretty much all I've done. And, you know, people have lost money with trades that I have sent out. But I guarantee you, those same people that lost money, they've made a lot more money with the trades that I have sent out. That's the only thing that I could ever think of that, like, you know what, somebody could possibly be mad about me or call me a scammer for, is that they lost some type of money with a trade that I sent out. But I always outweigh it within a week or two with another winning position.
Changing the subject slightly, we didn't have planned for this, but I do just want to talk about it. If we can't, then let me know, but I want to talk about it. What do you think about the upcoming election? Where do you stand on it? How are you feeling?
All right, so I am full right-winged. I don't think that the left wing got what it takes. I think I'm about to predict the future like Simpsons type shit right now. I am a firm believer. I think they're gonna snatch it from him. I think another black swan event is going to happen, and he's not gonna be able to win. I think they're gonna take it away from him.
But what did you think of the recent debate? Because I haven't personally watched it, but Kai watched it on the way over here, and his opinion was that
I have a few thoughts. So I feel like, you know, the debate was good. It's a little bit like just petty back and forth, but overall it was good. But I feel like, in my opinion, what Kamala is doing, which works very well for her, is she's very much appealing to the average American. You know, we're going to give you $50,000 tax breaks for small businesses, $6,000 tax breaks for your first child, etc. Whereas Donald Trump is more like, yeah, we're going to make America great again. And it's like, bro, I'm poor. Like, I don't resonate with what you're saying. So I feel like that's going to work against him. I guess that's the first thing I'd say. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would definitely say she's more of a politician. He's more of a businessman. She knows how to talk to the people and get them to hear what they want to hear, but their execution just simply won't happen. I do believe that he doesn't have time for the politician talk. I just think he only has time to be able to say what he has to say. And I'm telling you, I genuinely think all like the whoa coming in. I think they're gonna take it away from him. I think, bro, don't you guys realize that after the shooting happened, they never talked about it ever again?
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic? Usually when there's a big event like that, it becomes a headlines of news for weeks, for months.
Yep.
Nobody's talked about the guy that shot him, the family, the reasoning, nothing. It just, nothing ever came out.
And that's exactly what I was just about to say. So the other thing, obviously that was the first point. The second point that I noticed is that obviously everybody seems to be against Trump in terms of like the news, etc., etc. So like what I found interesting was like everything that Trump said, he would get fact checked, but everything she said, there was no fact check. And also just like how easy the questions were. So like they would ask Trump about the Israel conflict. How do you feel about that? Which is a very, very difficult question to answer. You know, what would you do to fix that issue if you were president? It's a hard question. And during that monologue that he had, he mentions about Kamala not liking Israel for some reason. And then instead of asking her the same question, it's, oh, Kamala, Trump says that you don't like Israel. What do you have to say about that? So like it's a personal question versus a political question. So it's extremely difficult for her to answer that question, which puts him on the back foot. And then he gets fact checked and she just gets smoke blown up her ass.
Yeah, it's because it's all rigged, bro. It's all set up. Like when you control the power, you can set it up as much as you want. Think about it. Let's say right now you own a restaurant, and in that restaurant, you know the friend that is the inspector. He's gonna come in like, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like you're good. You basically set it up how you want to make sure that everything goes out well. They're just doing that on a very, very high level.
Speaking more broadly, how impactful is politics for someone that, you know, has a massive amount of money and therefore freedom? Does it actually matter to someone after a certain stage, you know, who is in power?
I would say no. Depends on how much money. Like for me personally right now, I have not invested into anything over the last year, and that is not tech, something that's not virtual. I everything that I invest into right now is just virtually because whatever happens in the US, I can have clients outside of the US that can make up for it. So I think that politics does affect what is in that country, like real estate or a business that's in that country at that very moment. So depending on how much money you have liquid and you're willing to burn on, you know, interest rates, or you're willing to burn on just having employees there, it would affect you. But on the actual hardcore physical businesses and real estate, politics affects 100%.
How about short-term markets, like the stock market, for example? What do you think people should be doing? Like long-term investors, should they be holding off, or you know, waiting until they see the result, or putting all in now?
I think you should wait. I'm personally waiting right now myself. I feel a lot of uncertainty. I don't feel comfortable at all, and I feel like the majority of the people feel like that as well. And all the money that you're gonna invest into the stock market. Like the other day, my banker called me up. He's like, "Hey, look, I see you have some cash parked there. Why don't you put it into a CPI or CDI or something like that, where you just lock it up for 3 months, and then we'll pay you 4% in 3 months." I'm like, "Okay, that sounds great," but then I get tax 40% on those capital gains on the 4%. I technically make 1.5% after the fees. What's the point of that? I could just trade myself and I'll make 30% within a month. And then I'd rather pay the capital gains on that rather than having it locked up with you guys where I don't even know what you guys are going to do with it. So I don't, there's so much uncertainty right now in the US. I don't know how you guys feel about it over in the UK.
I just think everything's...
Lots of uncertainty over here as well on our side.
I feel like we would need at least an hour to open that, you know what I mean? We can't even talk about that right now. It's just crazy. Like everything is just mental, and I don't even know where.
We had a long Uber drive yesterday.
Wow. He was so passionate about it.
Guy was a lovely Russian guy, and
so much.
Yeah, he was just the whole way. We asked one question and we got a full on. We basically had a podcast episode in the Uber.
I put 2p in by accident, and he just started going off, bro. I didn't even mean to, but I just got it cracking.
Yeah, I don't like politics at all. I despise it. I hate it. I am going to get involved into it probably in like 2 to 4 years. I'm going to run for mayor of Miami in like 2028. I think that's like the next step after you're successful. You can just make so much money that it doesn't even matter to you anymore.
If you win that election, can we get a confirmation that we can come to like the after party or what sort of ceremony they do? I don't know how these things work, but since you've said it on this podcast, you want to be there.
Yeah.
We're going through the clouds now.
Now this is horrible.
So how much control would you have as mayor of Miami? Like what could you do with that power?
You pretty much kind of run the show a bit, when in terms of like construction, who can build what you should fix, traffic flow, even somewhat of the actual economy in Miami. Like,
how about taxes? Could you do anything with that?
No, because that's more of like a state thing. That's like the state of Florida. Miami is just a city in the state of Florida.
But that's cool though. If he controls building, then we just start Miami Construction Company and we just start running it up. All the crazy builds.
Yeah, I think because I would go into it without wanting money. I don't need the money. I want to go in just to make shit happen. I see a lot of issues in Miami that I feel like that they could get fixed. And the people that, have been running it in the past, obviously there's just different type of like mindset than the one that I would have into it. Like the salary that I would make as mayor of Miami, I would just give it back to the city. And I would even invest into the city personally myself because I want the money. I want to make the city the best. I don't want to capitalize off it myself.
You seem very loyal to Miami. Have you ever thought about moving somewhere where you pay less tax?
Nah.
I imagine tax is a crazy thing for you.
Yeah.
All the short-term trading.
It's definitely an issue, but I don't see myself living anywhere else. Like if I have to pay tax, it's the price that I have to pay. I just got to make more money.
So I was under the impression that tax in Miami is not that high. Am I wrong about that?
So it's all like a tax bracket. So you pay like federal tax, which is like for the states, like United States, and then you pay like local tax, which is like the state that you're living in. So like let's say you're in LA. LA, you're gonna get taxed way more than living in like Florida, for example.
And is short-term capital gains tax more than long-term?
Yeah,
Miami?
yeah, it's like 40%. But it's just in the United States.
Okay, over.
Yeah, but you trade under a business, you could have write-offs and stuff. So that obviously does help with everything. And a lot of people, they kind of flee and they go to like Puerto Rico and stuff. And I don't know, I'm good. I want to live where I want to live. I don't want.
So why wouldn't you move there? What does Miami have over Puerto Rico?
I was born and raised. My family's there. My friends. Like you can drop me. Like literally, you could just get a pin, drop it at any point in Miami. I know exactly where I am. I know the whole entire city like the back of my hand. I know everybody in every corner. I just feel like I'm at home. I feel like I control shit. I don't want to go to a new place and feel like.
Are you claiming to be the king of Miami?
Not yet. Not necessarily. I just know a lot of Miami.
Who is the king of Miami then?
I think Gutman, Dave Gutman, or the mayor right now, Francis Suarez.
Yeah, I like Francis. Yeah.
Francis right now is running the show, definitely.
So speaking of these high-level people, King of Miami, etc., I guess let's talk a little bit about networking. You have quite a vast network.
Yeah.
I know you're connected with Steve Will Do It, Dana White, a couple people that we would love to have on this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you go about building that, I guess? Shit question, but yeah, let's go.
Yeah, really good.
So
I was trying to get into that earlier, but I couldn't find an in. But
So people think that it's just money that got me into those rooms, and that's not the case at all. A lot of these people, they don't need money. They need somebody to be real to them. So when I go up to like a Steve Will Do It or a Dana or anybody, and I don't come up to them saying, yo, I'm rich, let me be your friend, or whatever somebody else would do. I try and find something that the people around them aren't pointing out because they're all yes men. Everybody around all these very successful people, there's a lot of yes men that just say yes to everything and don't tell them the truth. I come in and I'm like, hey, look, dude, I think you're great. I love what you're doing, but I think you could probably do this a little bit better, but you could change this up. And they're not used to that. They're not used to somebody telling them something other than what they're used to hearing. And they appreciate that. And I come from an angle, it's like, look, I don't want nothing from you. I don't need nothing from you. I'm just letting you know, coming as a genuine person. And they appreciate that kind of stuff. And that's what's gotten me into the rooms with everybody else, because I don't need anything from anybody. I don't ask for anything. I just want to be with other like-minded, successful people.
What advice would you give to someone that isn't rich, though? Because when you come in and mention them things, people will take you more seriously because you are rich. But of course, when you are not rich, people are egotistical. They think, why should I listen to this guy? And obviously it doesn't work the same for others as it does for you. So do you have any advice for people like that?
Why should I bring somebody close to me when they're not going to add any value to me? I'm clearly going to add a lot of value to them because I'm going to give them a lifestyle they've never had or access to things. So somebody that has no money or no status, what value are you going to provide to this hyper successful person? What's going to make you different than somebody that has some type of success? What is it? Is it loyalty? Is it somebody to speak to? Do you have a skill set that they need? What type of value are you going to provide to them? And I've been able to learn how to point out the weakness on all these people because everybody has it. I have it. You guys have it. Just that person that knows that weakness probably just doesn't know how to take initiative on how to add to that.
So if someone wanted to connect with you, how would they do it?
So it's actually super funny. Somebody did it to me about 2 weeks ago. So one of my students said in my community, my Discord goes crazy. I have like 8,000 students in there. And that shit goes crazy. When you have 8,000 traders chatting at the same time, it's ballistic. He became successful. He got a payout. And whenever somebody gets a payout or they make some type of money, I do a podcast with them just to talk about the trading journey, so on. He did all that just to come in person to meet me. He's like, look, I don't want to do the podcast. I'm just here to tell you that I'm going to fix your Discord. I'm going to be the moderator and I'm going to help you reply to these people. And I'm like, dude, you came here for that? Like, you wasted, like, not waste my time, but thought we were going to do a party. He's like, look, no, yeah, I'm just letting you know I'm going to do it. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to go and help you fix this Discord, talking to all these 8,000 traders. I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. Finished, we did the podcast. The hour we left the podcast, the dude was in there replying to everybody, sending videos without me having to tell him a word. So he saw a weak point. He went, attacked it, fixed it. Now we're going to add the guy to the team. We're going to bring him on board. We're going to bring him to Miami. Like he got a point that I didn't have well, and then he provided value.
We had a similar situation recently with one of the YouTube channels that we run, and we had a thumbnail designer just started making thumbnails for us and just sending it to us, not saying anything, just sending us thumbnails. And one day we both looked at it and we went, that's quite a good thumbnail. Let's try that.
With the new feature, you can ABC.
Yeah.
So,
I think we even tried a couple, and one of them did pretty well. And now he's just part of the team. Just from that, just providing value, asking for nothing. And if it's good enough, we'd be an idiot to not have him. You know.
It's very rare to find a person like that, because not everybody's just willing to put in that time, not knowing if it's gonna happen.
It's so interesting though, because it's like what we were saying earlier about people being incompetent. Like people think that to get in the room with someone or to get an opportunity, you have to, you know, do so much stuff and send a big long message or be persistent and all of this stuff, which actually isn't true at all. Like Tom just said, if you make something good and send it with literally no message at all, it's going to get taken seriously, because there is a shortage of people. Like when we lose an editor, for example, it is a headache. Like we can't be asked to replace an editor. It's hard to find someone that's good, and it's just long. So if an editor that's good just sends some work, I re-edited one of your videos, boom, or maybe doesn't even say that, it's like, wow, this guy's amazing, but no one does that.
You mentioned briefly, people know what you can do for them in terms of you add value to their life, and there's the lifestyle. How do you think about that when it comes to girls and dating?
Yeah, bro. I'm in the defense game right now.
Just batting them away, are you?
Bro, I get DMs all the time, and I'm like,
It's a hard life.
yeah, it's a difficult life. Because at the end of the day,
you've sworn off girls completely.
dude, of course, like, you know, even to the point where I know like that she's a gold digger, I'll just like fuck with her. I'll be like, okay, yeah, you know what? Like get ready, let's meet up. And then I just never reply.
Really?
Yeah.
Savage.
Because like I'm from Miami. Like any girl that is gonna talk to me, I probably know a mutual that knows a mutual. Miami's very small, and I can just tell who's real and who's not. And I just don't need that type of person around me right now. I don't need somebody to come and want to feel like they're entitled to something that they have not had any work into it. So,
But at some point, presumably you'd like to find someone that is
For sure.
that caliber. So how do you go about doing that then? Or is it just so far off your mind that right now you're doing you and you're chilling?
So about like a year ago, I tried it. I genuinely like tried to do it, and I tried to like find the one, and I just couldn't do it. I just didn't find the one, and I would do it not with myself. I have another name. His name's Juan, and I have another car and like a different Instagram. Like I would just try to do it like as unique as possible.
So then do you reveal your real name at some point?
Yeah, so usually I would just take him out on a super normal date, you know, to like like a regular restaurant, like a mom and pop shop. And then if it goes well on the second date, then I'll tell him who I am, for real. None of these girls made it to the second date.
So what was you in Miami probably?
What's your cover story? What did you do for a job?
So I just say that I work at tech. I just do like computer stuff. You know, half these girls are just don't get it. You know? Yeah, American girls aren't that bright, by the way, you know.
You'll have to move to the countryside somewhere, and maybe you'll have a better.
I don't know.
Better pick.
Maybe I'm gonna have to be like these passport bros. You know, like these guys go to different countries and they get girls that actually appreciate stuff. A lot of girls in Miami, they're entitled to 90% of the stuff that has nothing to do with them. A lot of these girls have OnlyFans and you don't even know. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think that's cool at all. I think it's like the new way of like selling yourself. And if you're selling yourself for $8 a month, you know, there's no value in you to add to my life.
I think people just don't realize the mistake that they're making. And I think that it will all come round very soon. I think people will be in for a shock.
Yeah, some of these girls are making a bag though.
Yeah.
Some of these girls are making.
So do you respect that, or do you still think it's something they shouldn't be doing?
So this might sound kind of counter, you know. I don't know.
If you were a girl, you'd be doing it.
I'll tell you what. I saw a girl that she posted it like a week ago. She made $16 million in the course of 12 months. Now, when it's a number like that, dude, yeah, all day I support you, dude. Like, let me hold the phone for you. But if you're making like,
would you hold the phone for her if she was your girl?
I know I wouldn't be able to be with her. But bro, 16 million.
Yeah.
You know how much money I have to risk to make 16 million?
That's what I mean about it's easier to make money today than ever before, because no one could have ever done that before.
No, it's like not even like in the porn industry I could imagine beforehand. Just nobody was getting paid that. It didn't exist.
So when you eventually get married, will you get a prenup?
100%. Why would somebody that hasn't built anything be entitled to half of it? To me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the thing in the UK is you can't really have one. You can have like an agreement, but they don't take it seriously, so they still end up taking half.
Just don't get married.
Yeah.
This is what Patrick Bet David told
It's
us.
just a little bit dodgy, isn't it? Like if you've been with your girlfriend for a certain amount of time,
But why do you need a paper to show that we are supposed to be in love forever? Like we're in love, we're in love. We don't need a paper to tie us together.
Because I want to wear the dress and have a nice day.
Well, we can do it. We're just not signing a paper. Why do we need the paper? We can say we got married. I'll give you the ring. We'll do the whole show, invite your friends, your family. But we're not signing a paper. What's the point of the?
I suppose it's a security thing, right? So if you end up having kids with that girl, then she's going to have to give up a lot of her life, maybe her career, to look after those kids. It depends how you have the setup, but she's betting on you.
Yeah.
So then she's like, I want to be safe in the future. And I guess that's their point of view.
The other thing that's crazy as well is that you said about not having the paper, but I reckon in the UK they'd still fuck you anyway, bro. Like if you had a wedding with someone, you lived with someone, and you know XYZ, and then you split up, I genuinely reckon that they would probably still do you for half, even without the paperwork. I reckon
Common law wife.
Yeah, common law. There's all kind. I don't know. Well, obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just chatting shit. But I do think,
Self-aware though.
I do think that some funny stuff.
I mean, how many years have you been living with your girl?
Like 8-9 years.
Oh, dude, you're married. You're not.
That probably just do me for half anyway. But so yeah, it's just I don't know, innit? But
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'll get married, sure. But I'm not, like I saw my parents get divorced. Half my family got divorced. Like divorce is up to like 60, 70%. Like, dude, we can do it if you want, but you're not going to be entitled to half my stuff.
What's your biggest weakness?
I just say my biggest weakness right now is learning how to like, I would say it's like learning how to like have the balance. Just like learn how to go out with the boys and not talk about work, or having too much fun and then not being in work. Having like that perfect balance is something that I'm trying to figure
I don't think it exists.
I feel like it probably doesn't exist, but you can learn how to manage it. Like, dude, like I can go like 8 days without, like literally like 8 days in a row without like nonstop work, just figuring out how to make the marketing better, hiring new people, firing people. It's like, dude, like I haven't eaten in like 2 days or something.
It's difficult as well, isn't it? When one, your lifestyle kind of is your work, and two, by default, you know, the people you hang out with and your friends become your employees, business partners, colleagues. So you're like, even us three, right? We all work together. Even if we go on a holiday, by default, we're just always talking about work. It's hard to escape it.
Yeah. I mean, it just comes with the territory. It comes with the mindset. It comes with the lifestyle that you guys live. But to add to that, I would say another weakness that I would have is not knowing who's coming into my life for me or for what I have. Men in general, women in general, I'm just generally playing defense 24/7, bro, because obviously everybody wants to be part of the lifestyle, but nobody wants to put in the work.
Yeah, cool.
Finally,
Yeah, I think we're fucking landing right now.
as we're landing, what does Strike It Big mean to you?
I love the name, by the way. I don't think I got a chance to tell you guys that, right? So I don't know what I should say as we land, because they were like, let's see. Oh my God. Okay.
Trying to hold this camera.
Is that all good? Here we go, touching down.
Here we go. Oh shit. All right, it's coming down.
Oh, that
Oh, a filter.
And shit's flying everywhere.
Shit. And they still say it's fake. And I go, it's fake. I love the name Strike It Big. I think everything I do is striking it big. Like, you know, when I decide to do a trade, I'm clearly striking it big. I'm risking 100%. When I do any marketing stuff, I'm doing it big. Everything that I do, I'm trying to outdo any, like, for somebody to top what I do, it'll practically be impossible. You would have to invest a lot of time and a lot of resources to be able to make it go down. So I think Strike It Big is basically how I live my life. Everything I do is big. Like, I could have gotten a smaller jet for us to just fit 8 people. No, you can fit 15 people in here. We're doing it big, so we have extra space and everything. So
awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
And thank you for the jet simulation. This was a very, very good simulation of a jet. You know,
Very realistic.
fair, and they've got them like roller coaster simulation, but if it just like moves around and that. This is the best one of them I've ever been on by a land.
We're actually in a garage in Derby.
Yeah, some people actually believe that.
I love that. Right? What the hell is Derby?
Oh, some random like city in England.
I don't know why you said Derby, but don't even.
I was trying to think of some like random just grey city.
I feel like London all in general is grey. I don't know how you'd want to live in London.
Right.
I don't know how you guys live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We stopped.
Sign it up.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bro, it's been a pleasure.
Hope to see you guys very soon, bro.
See you later.
Of course, bro. Appreciate you guys.
Good luck with the challenge.
So what were we going to put at stake?
Good question.
Oh,
What are we
we
gonna
didn't
put at
even ask
stake?
that. Oh, we never even fulfilled on the watch time thing, bro, and we like bigged it up and that.
If it doesn't happen, we need 100 grand.
Okay, done. Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
There we go.
That's it. 100 grand. Okay, done.
100 grand.
Should have said $1 million. All right, thank you, boys.
My guy.
Safe trip.
Awesome. See
Hope
you
you guys
later.
enjoy the Airbnb.